Just wanted to, kind of introduce myself for those of you that have not jumped on one of my many webinars. My name is Rob Valencius. I am the National Agent Trainer here at Pinnacle Financial Services. And, I have the pleasure of having Kristen Oakley and Roland Brewer. Kristen is the VP of Agent Support, and Roland Brewer is the Senior VP Sales. I think we're going to have a great show of some of the different options that you have to sell dental. Dental, I know, is a hot button topic with many of the Medicare Advantage sales, and with AEP. I feel like there's two parts of the season, and I'm an agent myself. I'm contracted, certified, and ready to sell in a couple different states. But I feel like there's always two periods, right? It's AEP, which is such a short window to do so much of your business, and then there's preparing for next AEP. So I feel like we're always kind of in those two modes, and the time flies. So we're excited to talk about their product today, and I do feel like you guys are going to get a lot out of this. Now, a couple housekeeping notes. You will notice that you're all muted. And I'm sure you've been on a million webinars at this point since, lovely COVID-19 has come into our lives, roughly February and March of this year. And, we mainly do that because I would prefer to not hear dogs barking, garage doors closing. We're all obviously always on the go, especially a little bit more now than we were, 6 months ago. So, we do that. Now, that does not mean you can't ask questions. So you actually have a chat box in your WebEx platform, so you can ask questions at any time. I will be kicking the presentation over to Kristen from Nationalcare, and as soon as I do that, I will be monitoring the questions, and I'll try to get to them as they come up. If it's something I know that they're going to answer, I will kind of let that go. You can do whatever you need to. There is a raise your hand button as well, so just keep that in mind. Now, I always love to start these off before I kick this over to the presenter by just talking a little bit about Pinnacle and a little bit about our staff. So, Pinnacle's been around since roughly 2001 now. Kevin Shields, our principal, he's been in the industry. He was an agent knocking on doors selling long-term care in the 80s. He knows what it's like to be an agent, and our owners are very cognizant of wanting to do what's best for the agent, and in some cases that's not always what's best for Pinnacle, but if it betters you and you're selling, then typically we're making money as well, right? It's a win-win. So a lot of our kind of our competition and people that we readily try to kind of compete against in the industry, they tend to hide behind, support emails or, submission request forms, things like that. We do not do that at Pinnacle. You can contact any person in our office. Everyone has a email address, a phone extension, and all of their social medias. Now my beard here is kind of short. It's definitely a lot longer now. I feel like I do need to get to the barber at some point, but we want to be in front of you. We don't want to hide. And also we know that for a new agent, maybe you're calling in, you found us on Google or whatever the case is. Maybe you had talked to Marcus in the office, but you forgot his name, but you'd remember him if you saw his extension or his email or maybe even his picture. Because you found them on Google. So we want to make sure that you can readily reach out to us and contact anybody in the office at any time. If you have any issues with any of that, certainly I'm our national trainer. There is only one of me. So normally after webinars like this, I will get a little inundated. So feel free to let me know if you need anything and direction. I'd be happy to help and do one-on-one trainings with anybody on the call. Now, our sales team is split up kind of uniquely, okay? We split it up by territory. There's two teams of three for our health sales, which the dental would fall under. And you're always going to have a point of contact, a main person to reach out to, and say that's Marcus. Now, if Marcus is, out sick or on vacation or whatever the case is, you would have James and Jeff in the office that know the areas just as well as Marcus does. So maybe they're not your direct point of contact usually, but look, we understand time is money, right? We know that when you're out on these, you might be on an appointment sitting with a client. We want you to get the answers that you need so that you can get that sale done and over with, right? So if you're unfamiliar, you're new to Pinnacle and you don't know whose territory is whose, we have that all listed out on the website. And also, we do have a life, annuity, and long-term care sales team as well. They're actually broken up by product lines. So you have Mark Boulder and Warren Redinger in our office. They handle the life and final expense. And then we have our two senior sales directors in that area, Will Torrance and Josh Horton. They handle the more complex life and annuity products and some of the long-term care. So, if you're looking to maybe do some other ancillary or, obviously add-ons are important in sales, and statistically speaking, the more products you have in a house, the better likely you are to keep them as a client. So certainly you can reach out to me. I know I myself will reach out to Josh and say, hey, I need illustrations for this. I have a client that's looking for this annuity, and he gets me back stuff, and I wouldn't be able to do that on my own. So I'm thankful for what those guys can do. So that's my spiel for Pinnacle for the day. So what I am going to do is I'm going to turn my screen over to Kristen so she can, kind of start going over what they have to offer over at Nationalcare. And Kristen, you're up. You ready to go?
I am ready, Rob. Thank you so much. Let me share my screen. I think we're so as Rob mentioned, my name is Kristen Oakley. I am the Director of Agent Support for Lindsay Healthcare Holdings and its subsidiaries, one of which is Nationalcare Dental. And with me today, I have Roland Brewer, who is our VP of Sales. And he is going to kick things off by going over the dental product with you and teach you everything you need to know about it. Roland, are you ready?
I am ready. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. We're excited that you're here today. Man, what a great time right now. The weather's changing. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. But we are coming up on AEP, and that is the busiest time of the year for you guys. But I do want you to know the product you're going to hear about today. We can be selling this product 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This literally is the hottest, best dental product on the market today, without a doubt. I am telling you this, you're going to be excited about this. You're going to be excited about what we've done. I mean, even today, right now alone, before AEP, we're literally selling between 300 and 500 dental apps a day right now. So our product's solid, it's hot, and I think you're going to find that as we go through the presentation. So what you're going to hear today, I want you to understand about value. We're going to bring value. First and foremost, our customers need value, and we're going to show you how this is the best value on the market. But I'm also going to show you how we're going to create value for you. Now, earlier in the presentation, when things were getting kicked off, we heard about, hey, this is dental, and dental is typically a hot topic. The one thing about dental, though, dental has really never changed over time. The dental carriers just haven't changed. And, the products haven't progressed, et cetera. So what we typically found was dental was just one of those, it's a throw-in product. I'm going to make some commission, and then it's just kind of over and no big deal. So today I'm really going to show you about value with Nationalcare Dental. Before I go into the product and all the details about it, I'm going to paint a picture for you, and then I'm going to address it later in the presentation. So here's what I want you to think about. If you pulled up to a gas station, or your member pulled up to a gas station, and at that gas station, the pumps on the left and $3 to $4, but the pumps on the right we're $1.38. Where are your members going to pull up to? Which pump? The pump on the left at $3 to $4, or the pump on the right at $1.38? I think we all know the answer to that, but I'm going to come back to that here in just a little bit. All right, Nationalcare Dental. Who's Nationalcare Dental? What's the big deal? Who's behind it, et cetera? Well, first and foremost, Nationalcare Dental is Nationwide Insurance. That's right. Nationwide is on your side. Brad Paisley, Peyton Manning. We see the commercials every day. Well, that brings that Nationwide name to every household in America. So you've got brand, you've got name recognition that you can feel comfortable with, and your member can feel comfortable with. Now, I want to address something to you as the agent. This is not a product that you can go to Nationwide Dental and get. They don't have this product. This is our product here at Nationalcare Dental. It's just underwritten by Nationwide. So that should give you comfort that they can't go around and just find it on the Nationwide site. Nationwide doesn't even have anything similar to what we're talking about here today. All right, so Nationwide being behind it, that's extremely important. But what I think is probably one of the most important things is when your member walks into that dentist office and that little frosted glass window slides open and that person behind the counter asks for the dental insurance card. They want the dental insurance card. Well, you're going to be able to hand them that dental insurance card. And what they're looking for is not necessarily the insurance company or the name of the product. What they're really looking for is the PPO network. So our PPO network is actually called Maximum Care PPO. Maximum Care PPO has over 300,000 access points strong and growing every single day. So whether you're in rural America or a major metropolitan city, you're going to be able to find out that we've got access points with no problem. Now, who's Maximum Care PPO? Well, Maximum Care PPO is actually comprised of three of the largest dental networks out there. Number one, Carrington. Number two, Dentamax. And number three, Connection Dental. So again, over 300,000 access points strong and growing every day. And that PPO network, again, is called Maximum Care PPO. Now, when Kristen goes through her presentation, she's going to show you some extraordinary stuff about rural America, metropolitan America, and show you truly how much access there is out there across the country. So I know you're going to be excited about that. But again, feel comfortable that when your member walks in and that sliding glass, that little frosted glass window slides open and they hand them that hard dental card, not a paper one, a hard dental card, that they're going to have incredible access to an incredible PPO network. All right. That covers the big basis of who's behind it and what's the PPO network. What about the plan? The plans we keep really simple here. Really, we want it to be simple for you as an agent to be able to go and market, and it's also simple for the customer. So we have three different annual maximums: a $1,500, a $3,000, and a $5,000 annual max. And the plan design under them is the exact same. You don't have to go learn three different dental plans. It's one dental plan, just three different annual maximums. So again, we have a $1,500, a $3,000, and a $5,000. Now, underneath that, here's how it looks. Preventive care is covered at 100%. Now, you should be seeing this on your screen. Preventive care covered at 100%. There's no waiting periods, no copays, no deductibles, no anything. Then we have basic care. Basic care is covered at 80%. Again, no waiting periods, no copays. Then you get to major care. Now, major care is covered at 50%. And those are things like your crowns, crown repair, root canals, dentures, denture repairs, etc. But major care covered at 50%. Now, this is the first time as you're looking at the screen that you're going to see a waiting period. You do see a 12-month waiting period, but I got really great news for you. In fact, this is industry changing. There is nobody in the industry right now doing what I'm about to tell you. Not in the individual marketplace, What if I told you we could actually honor prior coverage? So in other words, we can totally eliminate that 12-month waiting period. If they're coming off a lifestyle dental plan with tier levels, not a discount dental, but with tier levels, we'll actually honor that time served. So literally, we have if somebody's coming off a plan and they've had their plan for 12, 13, 14 months, et cetera, that 12-month waiting period, it's over and eliminated, gone. But if they've had their plan for 3 months, well, then they only have 9 months left. If they've had their plan for 6 months, they only have 6 months left. This is unheard of in the individual marketplace, that we're actually honoring prior coverage. So Kristen will address that again a little bit more when she goes through the presentation. Now, we do have a deductible. The deductible is a $50 annual deductible, and it's a max of 3 per family. So a $50 annual deductible, max of 3 per family. But I got really good news again. The good news is that deductible only applies to either basic or major care, not to both. It's either basic or major care, whatever one comes first. So we literally have a dental plan with 3 different annual maximums: $1,500, $3,000, $5,000 annual max, 100%, 80%, 50%, and virtually you can have no waiting periods at all joining over to our dental plan if you've had prior coverage on that major care. So absolutely, this has created a frenzy in the industry. People are jumping over like crazy. Now, why else are they coming over? It's because we literally have the highest annual maximum in the industry, a $5,000 annual max. Now, why is that really important? Have you seen the rising cost of dental care today? The rising cost of dental care is mind-blowing. It's literally running right along with the rising cost of healthcare. That's why in most dental offices, you find financing available. Well, when you're marketing in the senior market especially, I mean, think about this. If this was your mom, your dad, maybe yourself, I mean, how long would one of those $1,000 or $1,500, or even maybe a $2,000, $2,500 max last if you've got to go get a root canal? Typically leads to a crown. How long is that $1,000, $1,500 plan going to last? So what we want to do is we want to show the members where we're creating value. Now get this one: our $5,000 dental plan, over 67% of the sales that come into our office on a daily basis are on the $5,000 dental plan. Look, seniors understand value. They want the best value for their dollar. And that's $5,000 dental plan is truly giving them the coverage that they need at the best value. And I'm going to address that value in a second. So let me hit this real fast. $1,500, $3,000, $5,000. Here's the pricing. It's real simple. Our pricing works this way. We do not have
Hey, Roland,
bracket. Yes.
Roland, real quick. Sorry, we had a couple people. Are you able to zoom in? They're saying that the text is a little hard to read.
Kristen, can you do that, superstar?
Awesome, cool. That's better. Sorry about that. Thank you, Roland. Thank you, Kristen.
Hey, you're okay. Thank you. No problem. All right. So let's talk the pricing. $1,500, $3,000, $5,000. I'm only going to address right now. You'll see all the pricing when Kristen goes through her part, but I'm only going to address right this second the member rate. So we don't have age brackets. We don't have any of that. Again, we keep things simple. So whether they live in rural America, I don't care what zip code, I don't care what their age is. The minimum age, though, for a primary member is 18. Get this one, the maximum age, there's no max. There's no max. We literally have people joining our dental plan over the age of 100. So the $1,500 is priced at $49. The $3,000 is priced at $59, and the $5,000 is $69. $49, $59, $69. Now, again, we're keeping something real simple here. $10 increment. So for $10 more, dear customer, I can actually double your benefits. I can double your annual maximum from 49 to 59. I can take you from 1,500 to 3,000. Oh, but for $20 more, I can literally more than 3 times your benefits and give you a $5,000 annual max. So 49, 59, 69, that does not change according to age or any other demographic. Now let me talk about value before I go off to the last little part of my presentation. Remember in the beginning of my story, I talked about pulling up to a gas pump? And the price of one gas pump on the left was $3 to $4, but the pump on the right was $1.38. And you're going, where does that come into play? The dental plans that most of you are marketing today, and I don't mean this bad, it's what we've had available to us. The dental plans that have been out there, their price per $100 of annual maximum, most of those plans were $1,000, $1,500, maybe a $2,500 annual max, but their price per $100 of annual maximum literally is $3 to $4 per $100 of annual max. Our $5,000 dental plan, $5,000 annual max at $69. When you take that per $100 of annual max, it's $1.38. Why would you want to market something that's $3 to $4 for a consumer when it's literally $1.38 per $100 annual max? Look, seniors get it. They understand the value of their dollar. They're on a budget. So let's get them the best, most comprehensive plan with the highest annual max for the lowest cost in the industry at $1.38. Again, over 67% of our sales that come in are on the $5,000 annual max plan. Look, we want to show you how to make money. And I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm going to turn it over to Kristen. Real fast, our comp is a level compensation plan. Literally, level compensation. What you earn this month, you're earning next month. Guess what? You're earning next year, the year after. What we know is in the senior market, the dental sales stay on the books for just over 4 years. So why would you want to sell a product at a higher dollar cost whenever maybe you get a high upfront commission? That's what the old school dental plans have been doing, a high upfront commission, but year 2, year 3, et cetera, that commission falls off the table. It goes down to 3%, 4%, maybe if you're lucky, 6 or 8. We're going to show you how to actually have a level commission plan every single year as long as they're on the book. Now, not only that, we pay weekly. I understand how you guys get paid on your Medicare Advantages and Medicare supplements. Get this one, we pay weekly. I'm putting money in your pocket on a weekly basis every Friday, 1 week in arrears. 1 week in arrears. Whatever you write this week, we'll pay you next Friday on. Oh, and it even gets better. I actually have a 12-month advance. A 12-month advance on dental. Look, I want to show you how to create an income with dental, not just a little supplementary, pay. I want to show you how to create income. In fact, in the future, be looking. We have an article coming out that was written by our CEO. It's a press release, absolutely incredible. It's called Dental Moneyball. We're serious about this. We want to show you how to be making incredible money with our dental plan here at Nationalcare Dental. So with that, Kristen, why don't you take it away and show them how simple it is to enroll a customer and how they can track all their business in one simple location. Kristen, take it away.
Yes, sir. All right, so I'm going to go back to the home page, and we are zoomed in a little bit here so you guys can see the text a little bit better. And what I like to do is scroll past that banner at the top and come down to where it says products. You can see all available products now. And if you hover over that product, you can click View Info, and it'll take you to the plan highlights page where you can see a breakdown of that product. Now, one of your absolute best friends is going to be the Learn More button on this page. If you click that Learn More button, it's going to show you every procedure covered under that type of service. So this gets really important when we go over to the major services section, and this covers everything from inlays, onlays, crowns, denture repairs, implants, complex extractions. So when we're talking about implants and complex extractions, what I like to bring up is the missing tooth clause. And simply stated, the missing tooth clause says, if the tooth is missing prior to coverage with us, we will not pay to replace it. However, there is a caveat. So Roland talked to you about waiving that 1-year waiting period with credible prior coverage. If we waive their waiting period because of that credible prior coverage, so long as the tooth was extracted during that prior coverage, then we will pay to replace it. All right, so if we click off of here, the next section is Roland's favorite part of my presentation. Some people think it's a little crazy. I like to think it's fun, keeps you guys awake, but this is the locate a provider section. So if we click on the Maximum Care PPO logo, it's going to take you to the section where you can search for a provider, or you can nominate one if they're not in network. To figure out if an existing provider is already in network, you know, you have clients that have used the same dentist for 20 years. This is where you'll figure that out. So go to step 2, change general dentist to all specialties, and then you can search by last name and then city and state or zip code. So how I would like to show off our network and this search feature is by using what I like to call my country bumpkin zip code. I live in the small town of Justin, Texas. There's 2 stoplights, a Dollar General, and a really shady grocery store. So this is the part of my presentation where most agents are probably like, why is this crazy lady talking about grocery stores? It's supposed to be about dental. Well, I'm going to show you why. So I've entered my zip code from the middle of nowhere. I've pushed it out to 100 providers, and I'm going to press search. And I immediately get 5 providers that are 0.0 miles away from my small little town. All right, so I already have more providers closer to me than I do a dang grocery store. But wait, there's more. That's the cheesy part. The last cheesy part, I swear I'll do. But I'm going to push this out to 100 providers. And I'm going to scroll all the way down the list to the furthest provider, the 100th one, and it's 7.9 miles away from me. So not only do I have 5 providers closer to me than a grocery store, I have 100. So if that doesn't show you the vastness of this PPO network, I don't know what does. But I can tell you that our CEO lives in smack dab in the middle of Dallas, Texas, very populated area. If we were to use his zip code, he would also have 100 providers on this list, but the furthest one away from him would be 1.3 miles. So he literally has 100 providers that he can walk to if he wanted to. Again, very vast network, but don't worry, if your client's preferred provider is not in network, you can nominate that provider, and it only takes 2 weeks to get that provider in network. Now we're going to go back to the enrollment site, and the next section is information on the National Small Business Association. This is the $3 a month fee that members must pay in order to enroll in our dental benefits, but it's not just a $3 fee. They give the member access to discounts for every logo you see here. So, you know, Legoland, hotels.com, Groupon, Home Chef, Sam's Club, that sort of thing. And then the Consumer Medical Bill Solutions is actually an advocacy program that helps the consumer or your member get discounts on their medical bills, dental bills, anything like that. They can utilize that. And don't forget, we have our own in-house advocacy program that can assist the member as well. Now, if we scroll back up to the top of the page, you're going to see tabs right here. If you click the pricing tab, it'll give you a breakdown in the pricing for member, member plus spouse, children, or family. If you click the states tab, it'll show you states that are available to sell in and states that aren't available to sell in. Now, I will give you a little bit of insider information. We are working on refiling in the state of New York, and that should be an available state to sell in anytime now. We just released the states of North Carolina and Oregon, so the market's hot there right now. The downloads tab will give you access to download a PDF brochure that you can save to your desktop and then email to your client. The terms tab will show you limitations and exclusions such as the missing tooth clause. Now, when you're ready to enroll, you can do this a couple of different ways. You can click the pricing tab and click the enrollment button there. And if you just have a crazy member that doesn't want the 5,000 annual max, maybe they don't need that much, dental work done, you can scroll down to where it says products again and choose a lesser annual max and click the blue enrollment button there. Now, once you do that, it's going to add it to your, what I like to call the pre-checkout page or the shopping cart. Now you can click the drop down button and change the level of coverage. So for our purposes, I'll change it to family. It'll automatically update our total. Now, if your client would also like to enroll in the vision program, you can do that by scrolling down to related products, and you'll notice there's 2 options. Now, this might seem like common sense to most people, but believe it or not, I do have to explain it. So there's two options for vision. One says Nationalcare Vision, one says Nationalcare Vision Florida and Oregon. If your member resides in either the state of Florida or Oregon, you would choose the one that says Florida and Oregon. Now I'm going to enroll myself in Texas today, so I'm going to choose the regular plain old Nationalcare Vision. And then you can go and change the level of coverage again if need be. For our training purposes today, I'm going to say the primary member is the only one that needs vision. Once we have everything in our cart, we can press the blue continue button. And this is the final checkout page where everything with a red star is required. And I'm going to roll in today since I've already done a couple of demo accounts and I don't think it'll let me continue. And we'll change that. All right, now the next most important part on this page, other than everything with the red star and the payment information so we all get paid, is the post date section. So what the post date section allows you to do is choose the initial payment date. That can either be today or one day in the future. Now, I highly suggest using the 25th of the month as your cutoff for the next month's effective date. The reason behind that being is if the member chooses an ACH payment, that can take 7 to 14 business days to process. And the member will not receive anything via email or snail mail until that payment is processed and approved. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 9/25. And then we have two options for our effective date, either 10/1 or 11/1. Effective dates are always going to be the first of the following month. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 10/1. Now this is supposed to auto-populate down here and fill in our post dates for all of this. We'll see if it'll let us submit without that. The next section is the attribute section where a social security number is not required, but a date of birth and gender are. Next, we have the dependent section where we're going to enter all relevant information for the spouse and the child or children. And press Save Dependent. Once we do that, it'll populate over to the right-hand side of the screen. Now we're going to do the same thing for the child or children. So if Joe and Mary have 10 kids, you're going to do this for each child. Bear with me, guys. Apparently I cannot type or speak today. Go and press Save Dependent. Now again, it populates over to the right-hand side of the screen. Next, we have general questions. So it may seem redundant, but it says, does the member have an email? As any of you know, working with some of the senior clients, they may or may not have an email address. Maybe they do and they just don't use it, or maybe they just don't have one at all. This is where this is going to come in handy. If they do not have an email address, you're going to select no. And at the top, you would enter no email at noemail.com. Select no here, and that will alert our fulfillment team that they need to send everything via snail mail instead of via email. So any welcome email, payment receipt, of course, dental fulfillment is already sent via mail. Vision fulfillment is always, unless requested, sent via email. We don't currently send hard copy vision cards. All right, now the next section is information on how to waive that waiting period. So you're going to enter the prior plan information in this section. So the first question it asks you is this plan replacing another PPO dental coverage with 1,000 or more of annual benefits? If that's true, you would select yes. Now it's going to ask you for the dental plan name. I'm going to go ahead and pick on Delta this morning. And then it's going to ask you for the effective date of the previous dental plan. Next, it'll ask you for the termination date. And just keep in mind that it can't have more than a 30-day lapse in coverage from the end of that prior plan to the effective date of our plan. So I'm going to enter 9/30. And the last question it's going to ask you, or statement, is I attest as a licensed agent, I have verified coverage with the client and that their plan will or has terminated within 30 days of the effective date of this plan. If that's accurate, you would select yes. And next we have the payment method section where you're going to choose between credit, debit, or ACH bank draft. I'm going to choose credit card for our training purposes today. Now, if we scroll down, the next section is the authorization section, where you're going to simply check the checkbox. And next, and last but not least, is the e-signature section, where you're going to ask your client if they would like to receive the e-signature via text or via email. I'm going to go ahead and select email so that you all can see exactly what the member will see once they receive that. And I didn't enter a state. All right, so good, my payment was declined. That works out. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm going to send this via email so that you all can see it. It'll accept it this time. Apparently this demo account has had a long week as well. All right, so now you can see we have a blue box that says message sent, waiting to receive signature. Please wait. Just going to go over to my email really quick. And that email actually comes through really quickly. Usually comes in less than 30 seconds. And there it is. I already have it. So let me move that over to the window. All right, there. Now you guys should be able to see, it just says, please use the link to provide your signature, and they'll click the signature, or I'm sorry, the link. This will then take them to the e-signature page. It's thinking for a minute. There we go. So now the member can see all of the information the agent entered on their behalf, the member information, dependent information, those general questions, product information, payment info, terms and conditions. They'll be able to see plan highlights. All they need to do is scroll all the way to the bottom of the page. They'll sign in the box with either their finger or their mouse. And you can try to make that pretty all you want, but I will promise you, you can't. I've had a lot of practice and I can't even make it pretty. All right, they'll type their name in the box, check the checkbox, and press the red accept button. Once they do that, they're going to receive a confirmation page. Wait for it. And it says completed. You have successfully signed your document. They can now exit out of that screen, and we as the agent can go back to our enrollment site. And what we're doing is we're waiting for that blue box to turn green. And again, this is usually fairly quick. But while we wait, I will tell you that 100% of both our member services, which we like to call member care, and agent support is handled right here in our Dallas office. So anything and everything the member or you as the agent need is handled here in our Dallas office. All right, now we have a green box that says completed signature document has been received, and we can press the submit button to complete our enrollment. It's going to think for just a minute. Oh, our payment got declined again. Okay, so I'm using a dummy credit card generator and it's declining it. So I'm not going to try it again, but I will tell you when we press submit, you receive just a short little confirmation that your member has been enrolled. And then once we do that, once we've enrolled our first member, we can log into our back office. And this is the screen you will see. Over to the right-hand side of the screen, there is a dashboard that gives you a snapshot of your book of business with us. If you want to search for a specific member, you can hover over members and press search advanced. And this will give you many, many options to be able to locate a specific member. You can also press the open all red link up here at the top, and you can use this back office as a reporting tool for your book of business with us. So you can search for members created within a specific time range, with a specific active date range. You can search up here. You can go to states and see how many members you have in each state. But again, if you want to search for just a specific member, you can do that by entering their last name. Since I've already enrolled myself a couple of times this week, this is what it'll show you on the search results page. So you'll see the date the member was created, their member ID number, first and last name, city and state, their phone number. If you click the email icon, it'll open up an email to the client using your default email application. It'll show you the product or products they are enrolled in. The paid column will have a magical green check mark once the member has paid, along with a number beside it telling you how many times they've paid. The billing date is the initial billing date. A date will populate in the fulfillment column once fulfillment has been sent. The active date is the effective date. Once initial billing runs, the next two columns will populate. So for example, our next billing date for this one would be 10/25. If they would like to call in and change that reoccurring billing date, they can at any time by calling member care, or you as the agent can email my team here at agent support and get those changes made as well. The amount is the amount of the premium. If there's ever a hold date, and I'm glad there is here, that's most likely because the transaction has been declined. Again, I'm using a dummy credit card, so it's never going to go through. Inactive date indicates that they have been canceled either due to a declined payment or because the member has called in. And then the next 3 columns are the agent's information. Now, Rob, I think that about does it for product enrolling and how to use your back office. Do we have any questions?
We do. I did not want to interrupt you. So, couple questions here. One from John. He was asking, under major services, what is meant by 1 per tooth per 7 years?
I'm going to have to see where he saw that. Oh, right here. Okay, so on the crowns, you can have 1 crown per tooth every 7 years. So you can't have more than 1 crown on the same tooth.
Okay, makes sense. Hopefully that answers your question there, John. And we had a couple questions. Let's see. So Duke had a couple questions here. Where are they with compliance approved customer marketing pieces highlighting these competitive features? So trifold brochure, short video, etc. Do you guys have anything in the works for, I guess, compliance approved customer marketing?
Yes, we do. I'm opening it up right now. Just give me 1 second. So we just came out with, I have a big brochure, I have a 1-pager, and then I have this beautiful bifold that our marketing team just created that does highlight these things. So these are going to be printed within the next, I would say, 30 days, and they will be available for agents to order them through a website. So all of that information will be released as soon as it's available. For now, everything's electronic. So if you need brochures, feel free to email agent support and request those, and we will get them sent out to you. You can also call. It's just easier to shoot an email, and we'll respond right back with those brochures.
Great, awesome. Those are great. Question: what is the best way to explain the mandatory $3 fee for the National Small Business Association for folks who may get caught up or confused by it?
So the way I explain it is that we are able to get these low rates on such a high annual max due to the fact that we're a part of an association. So to enroll in these products, you have to pay that $3 a month fee.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
And
I know there's
just for
a couple products.
just for the big technical part, real quick. I mean, the policy is actually issued to that, so there is no roundabouts. You can't get away from it. I mean, that the policy is issued to that association, which gives us again some privileges.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. I know we work with a couple products that had to utilize associations, especially in interesting states like Florida and things like that. So, a couple other questions here. What if the client plans to keep their MAPD dental plan, or there's MAPDs that have their dental plans built in?
Yeah, their first one would naturally be their first plan, and then our plan would be secondary in that case. And they can have that.
Okay.
So in other words, when they go in, they're going to file on their existing active plan, and then our plan will be secondary to that. And it does work.
Okay. And then, Chris, and I guess this would be a question for you. They were asking, what if they don't have a cell phone and they only have a landline?
That's fine. I mean, they would if for the e-signature portion, they would just send it via email. We do, for very special occasions, offer a paper signature app. If they're, one of those boots on the ground agents that goes door to door, they can certainly give that piece of paper to the member and they can check the check boxes. Again, that's just for very special, specific situations, where we might have like a 90-year-old who can't email or anything like that.
To go along with that, I'm going to skip down one question. they were asking, what if the client doesn't have any email or smartphone? Is there a way for them to sign it? Is there a paper application, I guess?
Yeah, so that we can send that e-signature via, to them, to the agent where they can print it off and get their client to sign it. Yes.
Okay. How does the pricing and benefits for Nationalcare Vision compare to a competitor like VSP? Yeah, that's the question. How do the rates compare vision-wise to VSP?
VSP has multiple different, product sets. So everything's a little bit different. I mean, you have to get deep into each product to figure out. But I mean, do they have some that are less? Yes. Do they have some that are more? Yes, meaning VSP. So our product is set probably right there in the middle. To be honest with you, the pricing on the Vision. But again, on the Vision, $10 exam copay, $25 material copay, $150 allowance every 24 months for frames, and $150 allowance every 12 months for contact lenses. So again, it's strong, but it's probably in the middle. They do have a cheaper version, but ours is pretty comprehensive.
Gotcha. Okay. Had a question. Is there a link that can be sent directly to the member so that they can sign up? So I guess like a personal link.
So they can send their link to the client. However, if you'll notice at the top, it says agent use only. We highly suggest and recommend and would rather prefer that the agent assists the client in enrollment.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of our agents, they put those links on their websites and things like that. So that's good to know. Question, will they send a group billing to the group?
Yes, we can certainly do group billing. However, there's an extra step that's required prior to enrollment. All the agent would need to do is contact my team here in agent support, and they would send the agent a group setup form. One of the account managers would then set the group up in the system and send the agent a unique enrollment link to enroll those members. If it's a fairly large group, we can also do an import file.
Awesome. Yeah, I know some of our agents dabble in the group market, so that's good to know. So I was asking if the product is only restricted to the senior market.
No, it can be sold to anybody, primary member from age 18 to death. Literally, you can be 200 as long as you still have teeth, we'll cover you. And then one of the most common questions I get asked as a follow-up to that is, what is the max age on dependents, which is 26.
Awesome. So a couple questions. During the year, can clients move from one tier to another?
I'm going to let Roland answer that one.
They cannot go up during the year, and that's simply because what would typically happen in that category, all of a sudden they've got let's just use the lowest example, they got a $1,500 annual max, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh crud, I got to go get all this major stuff done, and then they want to up to get their other annual max. So they could not change up until the following year, and then down they can go down, just not up.
Awesome. So it's probably better from a sales technique to try to get them more into the middle plan, just in case they need to go down, rather than just off on the cheapest option. Typically, when you give people the good, better, best options, a lot of times they're not going to go for the good or the best, but they'll go for the better. So with the $3,000 one is kind of the mid-tier, correct? I think.
Right, and that's why when we price that, we literally, and agents have used it for as long as I can think now. I mean, $49.59, it's literally for just $10 more. I'm doubling your benefits. Why wouldn't you? I mean, there's hardly anybody out there that goes, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, it just doesn't make much sense. For $10 more, I'm giving you $3,000 annual max as opposed to $1,500.
Gotcha. Okay. So another question is, this product available to sell year round? Is there an open enrollment? And what happens if a client cancels in the middle of the year, but then wants to re-enroll?
So it is available to sell year round. And if they cancel mid-year, there's a 12-month waiting period before they can re-enroll.
Okay, great. How long does it take for a client to get their cards and welcome letter after enrollment?
As soon as the payment is processed, they receive the welcome email. And because we like to get fulfillment out in a timely manner, we do mail it within 72 hours. So as long as the
Awesome.
U.S. Postal Service is running, depending on how fast they're running, they usually get it within 7 to 10 business days.
Awesome. The vision plan, can that be enrolled separately, or does it have to be enrolled with a dental plan?
It can be enrolled as a standalone, yes.
Awesome. Is there a 2-plan limit? I'm guessing that's in reference to, I could probably answer that. I don't think there's any limits. I mean, you can have as many as you want. It's just who's going to be the primary and who's going to be kind of the secondary and third. I mean, in most cases, people aren't going to have 3 or 4 different dentals.
Yeah, and just to
to
clarify that a little bit further, they cannot enroll in like a 1,500 annual max and then also be enrolled in a 3,000 annual max. It's either or. But if they're talking about how we would pay out a secondary, yeah, they can have as many plans as they want, as long as that dental plan will coordinate with the other benefits. Some will, some won't.
Gotcha. So question, someone's asking, so 80% coverage means they pay 20% cash. I'm guessing they mean the client would be responsible for the other 20%.
Yes.
Question about coverage. How do you verify if the client has current coverage? Are we expected to contact the provider or just get a copy of their card? How do we go about nominating a dental practice? Is there a form? I guess that there's 2 questions packed in there, Kristen.
Yeah, 2 questions. So in order to, you would ask the client if they had prior coverage, and I mean, they can send you whatever you would need to figure out what what their current annual max is, what the plan name is, and what the effective date and end date of that plan is. I mean, so if that's an ID card, if that's, a plan summary, an EOB, whatever it is, the agent can certainly get that information from the member. And then for the second part of that question, to nominate a dentist, you would go to the Maximum Care PPO site under your enrollment portal and click nominate and enter all the required information that I have up on the screen now.
Let me go back to the first part of that question. So it is real simple on ours, and I, Kristen hit all that exactly. But we also do go on an honor system here. I mean, we're trusting that you're getting as an agent the correct information. I mean, it's real simple. Whenever she showed you there on the enrollment site, I mean, you're just literally putting in a start and a stop. I mean, there's and it doesn't have to be like dead on accurate. I mean, if most people don't remember, I started on the 6th day of September. I mean, you're just putting, September of, 3 years ago, whatever it was. So it doesn't have to be dead on accurate. I mean, we just need something in the ballpark here of when and where they've had the plan.
Great. Awesome. Man, these are flooding in, and I don't normally see too many of these questions. We got a lot of people engaged, which is good. So
That's great.
Can they use the doctor lookup now so they get the provider search without being contracted? If they wanted to check to see if a dentist was in before they contracted, are they able to do that?
They can. I'll put it in the I'll put the link in the chat if you could share it with them. I think I can only. Yeah, I can only share with organizers and panelists, so I will put that in the chat and you can share it with everybody.
Okay, yeah, I'll get that out to everybody. Another question: does the 30-day coverage apply to a month that had 31 days, i.e., October, as an example?
Yes. So if the month has 30 days or 31 days, then we'll allow that.
Awesome. Is the sign-on to the enrollment portal the same as the back office?
Sign on to the enrollment. So they don't have to sign on to the enrollment portal. They just get a link. But the sign on to the back office, they actually create when they contract with us. They create it themselves, the username and password.
Someone else was asking if you guys have any sort of incentives for sales plans for the fourth quarter.
Other than the 12-month advance, I don't know what more you could want. And
hey, I will say,
level commission for the life of the policy. So, I mean,
I sell as well, and I will tell you just out of experience selling dental that I don't know of anyone else that really does the full 12-month advancing on dental. A lot of them do as earned. So that's, from a commission standpoint, awesome. You don't see that often. All right, so I'm sending this message out to the entire audience. This way, you guys, that's the link that Kristen was talking about. Someone had a question. If a client has a discount card, would that waive the 12 months? Does it have to be a full policy, or does a discount card count?
So it has to be a PPO or a MAC plan. So as long as you have the 1,000 in annual max, it's PPO or MAC, and there's not more than a 30-day lapse in coverage. But normally discount plans do not. Like 99% of the time, discount plans will not count as credible coverage.
All right. Geez. Okay. Still moving through here. Sorry. Is there any training to help us enroll groups or employees during employers' open enrollment periods or a new employee orientation?
Definitely.
Do you guys have any group?
Yeah, definitely. So if an agent needs any further training, what they can do is email agent support and they can request that training. And one of the members on my team will alert me that they would like a webinar or something like that, and we can certainly make that happen, especially for Pinnacle.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, you guys have been fantastic. So someone was asking, can they have $1,500 for 1 year and then go to $5,000 the next year and have credible insurance?
Yes.
Or no waiting period on the $5,000?
Yes.
Someone asked, could you elaborate more on post date and effective day?
Post date and effective day. Okay, so I'll go through my whole spiel. So right now you have until the last day of September to get an October 1st effective. All right, so they have to pay before they become effective, and the effective dates are always the first of the following month. So the way I explain it is I call it the burger theory. If you go through the drive-through, you have to pay for the burger before you actually get the burger, right? Same thing with us. So you have to pay for the premium before you become effective. So you always have until the last day of the month to get the next month's effective. But again, I highly recommend using the 25th as your cutoff for the next month's effective date.
And to go along with that, someone had a question about chargeback. So if someone were to leave the plan, when would the chargeback occur? So they were asking after 12 months, but I'd imagine after the first year, are you guys as earned, or are you paying every year is advanced? I think a lot of the times the first year is typically advanced, and then every month after is typically as earned with a lot of these. I don't, obviously you guys do some pretty innovative stuff, so I don't know what what it does for that, but we could certainly do that, figure that out for you, Albert. Okay. I think that's it for questions. So we actually, I thank you so much, Kristen, Roland. You guys did a great job. You certainly got some great information out of this. It was a pleasure having you guys. I want to get you guys out of here. I wanted to get you out of here before noon, but hey, you guys were hitting us with a lot of great questions. So tried to get to everybody. And if you have any questions outside of that, certainly you can reach out to myself. Certainly, I'm sure Kristen would be happy to answer any questions outside of that once you guys are contracted, if you have some different things going on. And, I know time is money. So once again, thank you, Kristen and Roland. Thank you for all your time that you guys spend as agents hanging out with us. I know time is money. So, thank you. And, Kristen, thanks again.
Thank you, Rob. We appreciate it.